Hello guys and welcome to another Fusion CNC programming tutorial video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I do CNC programming tutorial videos for home Mac and Wiki CNC machines using Autodesk Fusion. Alright guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I program this using the saw blade. Alright, this is a 4x8 sheet, and let's say I want to cut like strips of wood. They happen to be 5 inches by 46 inches. All right, let's see all the toolpath. So let's go to Fusion and let me show you how to do that. Right. So you see this is the program. Okay. So I'm gonna right click, simulate, put on top view. See, I have transparent checked. So just to make sure I'm cutting to the right size. Okay. So it's cutting all the way through. Okay. So how did I achieve this? All right. So the first thing I did was, let's go to design workspace. First thing I did was create parameters, the size of the sheet, and then the size of the strips. See, 5 inches by 46 inches, and then the quantity, how many pieces I can get out of the sheet, out of a 4x8 sheet. I also have the spacing between the parts. This is actually like the width of the saw blade times two. That saw blade happens to be 4.6 millimeters. Um, the one that in that machine at work, which is about 13/16, 0.18 inches. So I make this a little bigger, so zero point 0.4 inches. 0.4 inches. All right. So you also have a saw diameter. That's the diameter of the saw blade in that machine at work. Yours could be a lot bigger. All right. I also have a clearance 1 inch, and I have a lead in, lead out, which is enter, exit. I have the saw diameter plus clearance. Okay. And I'll show you where I use this in a minute. Okay. So I use parameters here, so I can change the size of the width. I can change the quantity, all the stuff. Okay. That's what I did first, and then I created a sketch. Right click, edit. So I created a sketch. So I got all the parameters. Enter. Okay. And you see I have the strip right in the middle. It's 5 inches by 46 inches. Okay. And after that, I extrude it. So I selected everything here. Okay. And then I type distance. Okay. I was supposed to, I forgot to enter the parameter, so I'll do it right now. So it's sheet underscore thickness. Hit enter. Click OK. Then, I extruded that strip, the one in the middle. So right click, edit. See that? And I got to type. I forgot to enter a parameter. Sheet underscore thickness. Hit enter. Hit enter again. Oops. Enter. Click OK. Okay. And put it in front of you so you can see that better. See the okay, the pieces, those strips and the stock. So after extruding that strip in the middle, and then I did a rectangular pattern. So I put it on top view, rectangular pattern. Right click, edit. I selected the strip in the middle, and I selected the object, the one in the middle, right? And then my axis, click on select the back edge. That's my axis. Distribution, spacing, and then quantity. It's the quantity parameter, 17 pieces. And I have a distance as strip underscore width, which is 5 inches, plus spacing, which is zero point 0.4 inches, right? That's the thickness of the saw blade times two. All right. So let me click on cancel, and that's what I did here in design workspace. And after that, I just went to manufacture and created a setup. But let me create a new setup. So, but before that, let me show you what I use. See, I use two patterns. So I patterned the first one. Um, Also, let me go back to design workspace. I forgot to show something else. Okay, after rectangular pattern, I created a mid plane. I'll show you why in a minute. And I created a sketch. Let me right click, edit sketch. So I drew a line on top of this of on top of this strip right in the middle, and just extended it, and I just used parameters. So I got a sheet length, excuse me, sheet underscore length divided by two, right? Because it's in the middle, plus enter underscore exit. That's 7 inches, right? All parameters. That gives me 55 inches. All right. I did it for both. Just um I drew two lines from the midpoint, right? This one right here on the right and one on the left. Okay. Okay. See that? All right. So let's go to manufacturer workspace. So finish sketch, and let me go to sketches. Turn this on. See, and mid plane. Okay. Let's go to manufacturer workspace. So you see I patterned the first one, okay, and then I patterned the second one. You see it's crazy leadings and lead outs when you pattern, but that's okay. The machine's not gonna travel that far because the machine has its own leading lead out. I don't know if you noticed that when running a program that you made in Fusion. All right. So you don't panic when you see this. That's okay. The machines can have vertical leading lead out when using the saw blade. See, I patterned that a two path in X. So let me create a new setup. I'm gonna start from scratch so you can see how I did this. So I'm gonna right click, delete. Okay. So let me create a new setup. Okay. Operation time milling, orientation, change that to Z-axis plane and X-axis. But before that, this is what I do first. I always go to model, click on select right next to model. I gotta select all the components. So right under models, see where it says cutting wood strips, uh, assembly. All right, so right next to that, click on this arrow to expand it. Then I'm gonna select stock. I'm gonna hold down shift key on my keyboard and select the last component. And I got everything selected. Now I'm gonna go back to Z axis, click on select. I'm gonna select this face, X axis, this edge, box point. I just clicked on box point right next to stock point. I'm gonna zoom and select this point. I gotta flip the X axis arrow, so I'm gonna click on it. This is where my WCS is gonna be, right? Stock. Uh, I don't want any stock, so I'm gonna select no additional stock. Now I get the size of the sheet. Post process, I can end the program. I'll just leave it like that just for this video. You can. I'm not gonna type any comment. It's fine. Let me click OK, and there's my setup. Now I'm ready to create toolpath. So I'm gonna use a 2D contour. 2D contour. I'm gonna select my tool, and I'm gonna use the saw blade right here. Tool number 41. Does for that machine at work. Yours might be different. All right. That machine only has a saw blade in X. Doesn't have another one in Y. So that means I can only cut from left to right or right to left. All right. So if I'm gonna run this program, I'm gonna get an error saying, "Oh, no appropriate tool found," something like that. So that means I don't have saw blade in Y-axis. Okay, only X. So let me select this saw blade, which is a slot mill in Fusion. That's what it is. All right. I'm gonna go to multi-axis. because I got to do a tool orientation so I can output the G code and to be Soul Blade operation in WoodWap, right? Um, so let me check on this box right next to tool orientation, my Z-axis. Let me turn off stock, my Z-axis. I'm gonna do the X first, right? I'm going across. Um, I'm gonna select this face of the middle one. My X-axis is gonna be this line. Okay, see that's my tool orientation. So that's how I want it to be. Geometry. I'm gonna select. Remember, I have two contours, so I'm gonna select the first one and the second one. But you see, when I select the second one, it's going in the opposite direction. That means I gotta flip this arrow. So see, open change to, right click, flip directions. Okay, and height tab. I'm not changing anything here. Let's go to passes. Let's say I want to make sure that I want to cut all the way through. So I want to bring the soul blade just a little lower, like past the bottom face of the sheet. Let's say like a 30 seconds. So you don't do that in heights when you do in multi-axis. Like when you have two oriented, you're gonna have to do in passes. This is where you do it. All right. This is where you bring the soul blade. Like this is where you lower the soul blade or raise it. All right. Let's go to stock to lead. Let me check that box. Axial stock to lead is gonna be 0. Radial. Um, Radial stock to lead is gonna be I'm gonna go. This is a 3/4 inch sheet. So I want to go. Let's say it's a little lower than that. So I'm gonna type minus. I think it's a minus 0.8 inches. I want to make sure I call all the way through. Tolerance. The one that I use for that machine, the old machine, I always use 0.2 millimeters. So even though I'm working in inches, I can type a metric value. So I can type 0.2 mm. I'm not gonna hit enter. Okay, linking tab. Let me uncheck both so you can see what we get. I might come back to this in a minute. So let me click OK. Here's my toolpath. Put it on top view. I'm gonna right click, simulate. I have transparent checked. Okay, there it is. So I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna slow down a bit. I'm gonna put it in front view. So I'm going to the view cube here, front. I'm gonna play it. The saw blade right there. Gonna make contact with the material. Okay, see it's cutting all the way through because I have minus 0.8 inches. I have a negative value because the two lines that I selected are on the top face. Okay, that's why I'm using a negative value going down. Um, right next to radial stock to leave, right in the passes tab. Okay, let me speed it up. Okay, now how do I bring this two path here? Um, I mean, you can go back to design workspace and draw another line here. Okay, or you can just mirror this line too as well in the 2D sketch environment. All right, you can do that. You can mirror that using like a construction line right in the middle. All right, you can. But the fastest, easier way for me is to just pattern this toolpath. Okay, so I have 2D contour selected, so I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna add to new pattern. You can name this pattern if you want. I'll do that in a second. Um, See, I have this mid plane selected. That's why I created a mid plane in design workspace, so I can just mirror the toolpath. Okay, so if I go to see pattern type, I'm gonna go down, select mirror pattern, mirror plane, select the mid plane. Just a two path. See? So let me click OK. Let me right click, simulate. Let me put on top view. Let me rotate it. Okay, you see that? That looks good. So let's post process this, just these two paths, so you can see what we get in WootWap, because I found something really interesting when programming something like this with the saw blade and using a mirror pattern. All right, so let me right click, post process, program name or number, this 1001. That's okay. I'm using the WAP inch that I created. I also have a millimeter one. That's okay. So let me post it. I already have that program, so I'm gonna overwrite it. Let's go to WAP 5.0, file open. Oops, select that one. Okay, that looks good, right? But you always got to make sure it's cutting all the way through. So let me check the first one in the front. See, I'm zooming in. I'm drawing a window to zoom in. So it's cutting through here. Let me double right click on it to zoom out. So let me zoom in. But you see the one in the back is not cutting all the way through. See that? So that's the first saw blade macro. See, I got the right depth here, 0.8 inches, right? Because depth is measured from top to bottom. Z dimension is from bottom to top. Okay, that's the differences, right? Um, so let's select the second one. You see, I got minus 3.137 millimeters. This even though I'm using, see, it seems like 3 inches. So it's not cutting all the way through. It's I said this was millimeters. It's actually inches. No, actually, it looks like millimeters. Um, let me. Well, I can't really see the two if I put it in front of you. Um, let me see. I don't think I can. Let me go to XZ plane. Yeah, you don't see that. Let's go back to the top plane. All right. So this is what I found. I got two different depths. So the first one is the right one. The second one is not. So how do we fix that? I'll show you how to do it. Right. Let's go to Fusion. Okay. So I'm not gonna use a mid plane. I'm not gonna mirror this pattern. I'm not gonna mirror this two path. So what I'm gonna do is go to you can name this pattern. So I can name this saw blade in X. Okay, hit enter. I'm gonna right click, edit, and I'm not gonna use the mirror pattern. I'm gonna use linear pattern, or this is a rectangular pattern, right? So I'm gonna use the spacing, direct distance type, direction. I'm gonna select this edge, quantity. I want 2. Distance. This is where I can type those parameters that I showed you before. So I can type strip underscore length, because that's 46 inches. That's the length of the strips. Hit enter. But you see, um it's doing the pattern here. So I can change the direction by just clicking on this X, clear out that selection, that edge. So I'm gonna clear that out. And I'm gonna select this edge. Okay. Or you can type a negative value here if you want. If you have this edge selected. All right. Let me put it on top view. See that? And I'm not going to play around with these settings right here in this video. So let me click OK. So let me right click, simulate. Okay, so see how it's cutting to the parts. That means the the strips are going to be a little smaller than 46 inches, right? So that means I got to bring this saw blade up here. So how do we do that? So let's go to the pattern, right click, edit, edit. So this is, I got to take the thickness or the width of the saw blade into consideration. So I'm gonna type plus. Remember, I have a parameter called spacing. So type plus spacing. Hit enter. Okay, see the offset here. Okay, so let me click OK, and let's play this one more time. Right click, simulate. I'm gonna play it. Okay, um, so that's offset. So well, I'm using the spacing, which is the wrong it's the wrong width of the saw blade. Okay, so um, if I select 2D contour, right click, edit, and I'm gonna go to that tool, that slot mill, right click, edit. Let me go to cutter. See, is is 0.18 inches. So I have to use this as my distance. Okay, so it's gonna be um 0.18 inches. Click on cancel. Click on cancel. Click on cancel. Let's go to the saw blade pattern. Right click, edit. Let's go to so it's gonna be 46. Remember that parameter plus 0.18 inches. Click OK. Right click, simulate, and bingo. That's what I want. All right. Okay, that's my first two path. Let's do the cutting in Y. Right. So I'm gonna duplicate. Actually, I'm gonna duplicate the 2D console. Right click, duplicate, and I'm gonna drag it here because I don't want it to be part of the pattern. Okay, because I gotta pattern this um in a minute. All right. So let's select that duplicate. Right click, edit, and I'm gonna go to geometry. Actually, multi-axis. I'm gonna have to select a new face. Click on X. I'm gonna select this face and my y-axis. I think I gotta flip it. I gotta flip the x-axis. Yeah, click on this box and flip it. Yeah, that's how I want it. Actually no. No. Click on this X. Select this edge. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I know it's confusing when doing tool orientation. Let me leave it like that. Let me see what I get when I create two paths here. Let me click OK. Oh yeah, contours. Okay, so I don't need the second one. I only need one. Right click, edit. Select the first one. Right click, edit. Oops. Yeah, the second one I selected was right click, delete, not edit. Now I'm gonna select the first one. Right click, edit. Click on this X. And select this edge. Click OK. Click OK. Right click. Oops, not post. Yeah, simulate. Okay. So you see, I have a tool collision here. Okay. I can see I have that unchecked. But remember, when this is not the leading that you're gonna have when running a program like this with the saw blade. The machine is gonna override it. The machine has its own lead out for the saw blade. Just remember that. So I can leave it like that if I want. But if you don't want to see that, we can just fix it right now. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. All right. So see, I have a stop on collision check. So let me hit escape. Let's go to that 2D contour. Right click, edit, linking tab. Let me get a leading and laid out. Horizontal leading radius 0. Leading sweep angle is 90 degrees. Linear leading distance 1 inch. Um, Vertical leading radius 1 inch. And the lead out is going to be the same as leading. Click OK. Let me right click, simulate. See, now you don't see any issues here. Right where it says verification complete. All right, so you can do it like that if you want. All right, either way, you're still gonna have a vertical leading lead out when running a program like this using the Soul Blade, on your machine, right? Okay, so that's the toolpath there. Now I'm ready to pattern that toolpath, right? So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the first one. Right click, add to new pattern. Okay. Um, Now my direction is gonna it's gonna change, right? So my direction is gonna be I'm going in X. I'm going to the left. Select that direction. Quantity. Remember quantities? I have a parameter. Quantity is 17, right? but um but I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen in a minute. Okay, so let's do this so you can see. So see, I type Q quantity. Okay, distance. Remember that strip. That's gonna be strip width 5 inches. Hit enter. See that? Plus spacing. See, it's getting a parameter from design. It's a design parameter. It says millimeters, right? But it's actually inches. You see that? Okay. Okay. See the toolpath? Okay. So let me click OK. Let's simulate it. So right click. Oops. That's Soul Blade. It's actually this one. So I'm gonna name this pattern 4 Soul Blade in Y. Yep. Soul Blade in Y. Hit enter. Right click. Simulate. Okay, see it's cutting, not not all of it though. See, so we need another toolpath. See, it's only cutting the front, not the back of each strip, right? So let's select that 2D. It's hard for me to see. So let me expand this. So let me select that saw blade in Y pattern. Click on this arrow. Because I only have one edge select. I gotta have the other edge in the back selector as well. Okay. So right click, edit, geometry, select that edge, click OK. Okay. Looks like the toolpath that I want. Okay. So right click, simulate. Uh-oh. Look at that. When I do the second, the one in the back, I have two collision here. So I think I have to flip the arrow. See the saw blade is coming from the bottom. See that? So right click to the contour, edit. Okay. I'm gonna show you the mistakes that you can make, all right, and how to fix them. Geometry. So okay, so I have a closed chain selected. That's why. This is closed. It's supposed to be an open chain. So right click, delete. So I'm gonna hold down Alt key on my keyboard, select top edge. That becomes open chain. Put on top view. I might have to flip the arrow. So let's click OK. Okay, that's the two path one that I want. So right click on Soul Blade Y pattern, simulate. Okay, see it's cutting into the material. So I'm gonna have to do an offset, just how I did in the first one. I have to offset this two path. Remember it's point plus point 18, point 18 inches, right? So so right click, edit. Um, let's go. No, actually click on cancel. So Soul Blade Y pattern. Right click, edit. Distance. Um, see what happens if I just leave 5 inches. Let me see. Uh, Click OK. Right click, simulate. Okay, so I gotta offset this, but it gets see the cut gets it gets smaller and smaller on some strips. So so right click, edit. Again, keep making a mistake. Right click, Soul Blade in Y pattern. Right click, edit. Jeez. Uh, plus spacing. I think it's plus 0.18 inches. It's actually, oops, plus spacing is plus spacing, hit enter, plus 0.18 inches. Uh, yeah, okay, let me click OK, right click, simulate. Okay, I still have to offset this uh two path in the second two path. So let me go back to Soul Blade Y, pattern, right click, edit, um, see, plus 0.18, hit enter, okay, right click, simulate. Yeah, see, it's not doing the offset. So I'm just showing you the mistakes that you can run into. So I have an easy fix for this, and I'll show you that right now. So I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna duplicate this 2D console, right click, um, yeah, duplicate right here. And I'm gonna select the second one, right click, edit. I'm gonna go to geometry, click on this X to clear everything out. I'm gonna select the second edge right here. See it's close change. So I'm gonna hold I'm gonna hold down Alt key on my keyboard. Select top edge. That becomes an open change. See that? It's not closed. All right. Click OK. Okay. So I'm gonna right click and simulate. See what it's doing. So I gotta go back to Soul Blade Y. Right click, edit. I just wanted to show you that. So it's just gonna be distance, I think. So I'm gonna type distance gonna be strip width, which is 5 inches, plus spacing. Okay, let me click OK. Right click, simulate. Okay, okay, I see what's happened. Let me select the 2D contour. Right click, edit, geometry. Get rid of that opening change to, right click, delete, click OK. Put it on top of you, right click on Soul Blade Y pattern, simulate. Okay, I still have to do the offset. So this is where it gets tricky. I know I did this the right way last night. I was playing around with this, but I don't remember how I did it. So Soul Blade in Y pattern selected, right click edit, right? Let's see, plus 0.18. Oops, not 18, 0.18. Enter. Right click, simulate. Okay, I think I know what it is now. I think I know how I did it. Let me escape. Um, select a second to the console, right click. I think I gotta change the tool orientation. Um, I gotta select the back face of this strip. So multi-axis, click on this X. Um, yeah, select this face. Okay, click OK. Yeah, I think this is how I did it. Um, this the funky leading lit out that I showed you in the beginning of the video. I wasn't getting that before. Now I'm getting it, but this should be. Let me right click simulate. This should do it. I think. Let me see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So let me slow down a bit. See, it's going all the way to the left. Lead, huge lead out and leading. That's okay. You won't get this on this crazy lead in lead out on the machine when running again. Like I said before, you're gonna have straight leadings and lead outs. Okay, the machine's gonna override this fusion. It's crazy fusion leading and lead out. Okay, but you see what it's doing here? Okay, that's not right. So let's go back to that Soul Blade. I'm almost there. Soul Blade in Y pattern. Right click, edit. Let me get. Let me just type strip underscore width. Hit enter. Okay, see that pattern? Okay, so plus spacing. Okay, click OK. Right click, simulate. Okay, perfect. Okay, this is what I want. See that? This is what I want. Let's play it again. Let's make sure. Right click, simulate. I think I'm blind today. All right. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so I know it takes some work to get this right, but once you do this more often, it should be a piece of cake. After that. All right. You can. My advice to you is if you do a lot of trimming with the saw blade, like a lot of sheets. My advice to you is to save this setups um this setup as forgot. Actually two path. Select these two, it's all three two paths. Right click. You save these as machine as template. Store as template. You gotta store. You can do this if you want. I mean, or you can just save this. Call this whatever master. This is just a master. This is a master file that you can use. All right. Remember, you can change the size of the sheet, how many strips you want to cut out of a sheet. Let's say like a 5 by 9, a 5 by 10, 4 by 9, whatever. And you change the quantity. When you go to the design workspace, Go to parameters and change everything here. Okay. Um, you might have to tweak this. This like the quantity. Um, all right. Let's say I want to cut some strips out of a four by. Let's say like out of a cutoff piece. Let's say it's like 4 by 4. So you're gonna have to minimize the quantity, right? So you just gotta play around with this. You can also create table configuration tables. Okay, so you can just change the size of the sheet right here in quantity by having different configurations. So I have a video how to I have to use table configuration here in Fusion. I have if you want to check that out. I'll leave the link in the description down below if you want to check that out how to do that, right? But let's go back to manufacturer workspace. And so I'm ready to post process this program, right? Okay, don't worry about this crazy leadings and lead outs. All right. So I'm ready to post process the whole thing. So I have set up to select the right click, post process. Uh, that's the name of the program, 1001, Hootwap in inch. We post it. Yeah, I want to override it. Let's go to Woodwap 5.0, file, open. Do I want to save this? No. Okay. And let's zoom in to that toolpath in the back. See that? I'm cutting all the way through. See, it seems like the saw blade is gonna stop right there, but I think it's gonna cut. It's gonna cut through. I think it's gonna go all the way down here. Okay. You just gotta run like a test piece, like a test program. Um, but if I show you my first um saw blade macro, um, see what it says mode. Yours is gonna say the groove has the one at that a start and end point. Okay, by default you're gonna have this. All right, this is default in the Woodward post processor from Autodesk. I happen to change that from this mode to the last one, which is the groove has the one in length plus security distance. So I made that change in the post processor. If you want me to show how I did that, I'll make a separate video, just a quick video how you can change the mode in the post processor. All right. I also changed like I don't have a group width here. I think I have a video on that how to have an automatic group width. If I go to um, further parameters, see I have group width automatic. See that? By default, you're gonna have specify group width. That's gonna be the width of the saw blade. Okay. If I check that, click OK, you can see it here. All right. But make that change to make the group width um automatic. Okay. Um, I can make a video on that if you want me to. All right, quick video. I know I have a video on that. That's like an old video from like 2 years ago. So you don't want to like scroll all the way down look for that video. I can just make a brand new video for you guys. How to make those changes in the Woodbot post processor. All right, but this is the program. See, let me zoom in. So I'm cutting all the way through. See, that's the program. So I made this video because someone DM me on Instagram and asking me how to approach um on something like this. How to make a program because he wanted to cut strips of wood like 5 inches by whatever size, and he didn't know how to make a program in Fusion using the saw blade. So he asked me how do I go about doing this. So I know most of you guys send me emails and DMs during work hours, but you guys, it's not your fault. It's just you guys are in different time zones. You guys are in Europe or in Asia, so different time zones. So um, for you guys, might be like evening. For me, it's gonna be like morning. So I'm actually working, so it's hard for me to give you a solution when I'm at work. Okay, and this is the reason why I made this video for that person who wanted to um program this infusion to use the Soul Blade. So that's the reason why I made this video. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Um, have a nice day. God bless you all. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.